Alright, I got a ton of things that I want to rip through in this video, so I can't waste any time. If you just wanted to know the answer to the question, is the game better on PS4 and on Xbox One? The answer is yes, it is better. But to be honest with you, man, I'm not sure if that means all that much, considering the state the game is in now and the state it was in before. Also, for all the people in the comments down below who are going to say, just get it for the next generation consoles, or it was meant for next gen, I am playing it on next gen. I'm playing through it now on my Xbox Series X, but the truth of the matter is, so many people, millions of people, either can't find or can't afford a PS5 or Xbox Series X, and all they have to play this game that they want to experience because either they love the Cyberpunk lore and universe, or they just want to give this thing a shot, all they have is their PS4 or their Xbox One, which is why I'm still making videos about it on those last gen platforms, because honestly they're kind of getting forgotten because of comments like that. Just get it on next gen. Well, that's not possible for a lot of people. And all the gameplay you're seeing in this video is from after update 1.2, mostly on Xbox One and a little bit on PS4 as well. I put in 15 hours with the update, which is why my video is coming out 2 days after the update, because I wanted to make sure I gave it its due diligence, played it a bunch. And I've also put in close to 200 hours now on Xbox One and PS4. I've played through all of the life paths, and now I've also started playing it on my brand new Xbox Series X. And in general, man, I'm going to level with you. The update, it makes the game better. It's a step in the right direction, but it's still disappointing in a lot of areas. There are so many things, deja vu, that I was expecting to be either taken a large step towards fixed or completely fixed that are still present. And again, I feel for all the developers who are working around the clock to try and do their best to cover up for corporate and management's mistakes and trying to fix this game, but there's still a bunch of holes that need to be patched up. And I understand the patch notes, there were a ton of stuff that were addressed, and it's a bunch of bugs is what I'm realizing. Yes, they went in and touched up some mechanics like the police system, which we'll get to in a minute, the NPCs' reactions and things like that, but it really feels like it was a patch of fixing bugs that honestly shouldn't have been there from the beginning. So that's the positive, I guess. It's a step in the right direction, a foundational step in the right direction. And look, cdpr is not going to abandon this game. They need this game for their brand. They're riding on this game for the next few years here. And as far as the quests go, if you look in the patch notes, there were a ton of fixes for specific quests. I didn't encounter any big bugs in the quests. Of course, you've got the little ones, the occasional T-pose and things like that, but that's a good sign that I was able to play through, I think I played through maybe 10 quests, and I didn't have a single big bug, which is good news. And again, that's just my experience, and that's why I read through the comments for you guys on PS4 and Xbox One. And in the grand scheme of things, of course, there's a couple guys and girls who are saying, oh no, it's worse, it's not great, but the general consensus that I found is that it's not world beating. It didn't go in and save Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, this is the savior update. But again, it's a step in the right direction. But it also highlights the fact that there's still so much stuff that needs to go in and be addressed. And this isn't just on PS4, Xbox One, on every console, like the AI system. And I know an AI overhaul can't happen overnight, but I was kind of getting my hopes up when I read in the patch notes that they were improving the animations, adding variation to that. And it to me signaled that they're trying to fix the NPCs bit by bit here. But I went and tested it out, and this one really disappointed me. The AI is still dumb as rocks, and it's really disappointing. As far as the frame rate goes, I didn't edit any of the content. It's just raw so you guys can see it. Still really janky. It's better than it was. Like if you went and played this game in December versus now, you can see a clear difference, but it's still not where it needs to be. Okay, it's really not. For me, I was sure it was dipping down into the teens still, and I tried. I went into really densely populated areas. I was blowing stuff up everywhere, shooting a bunch of people, and the frame rate was still having issues. So I'm starting to get a bit worried now. Like, are they going to be able to get this thing to at least a decent, consistent frame rate on PS4, Xbox One, or is that just a lost cause? And I haven't really seen any big quest bugs like last time when we had the Takamura bug, right? Where they try to fix one quest and it causes another quest to break. I haven't seen anything like that. I checked the subreddit of Cyberpunk, haven't seen anything big like that yet, but let me know if you guys have seen any in the comments down below, any common ones, and I'm wondering if there is there going to be a hotfix incoming for something like that? Because that's what they did with 1.1. So let me know in the comments down below, this is where I need your help, if you've had any big problems with the quests, and if you think there's going to be a hotfix coming for some of the most common quest bugs. But yeah, as far as the frame rate goes, and I'll lump the smoothness in here too, better, again, than it was in December, but still, I was a little bit disappointed, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not going to BS you guys here. I was kind of expecting a little bit more in terms of the jankiness and frame rate area, but again, I guess we can't get our hopes up too high in that department. And as far as the police goes, this one, man, I mean, you guys saw it in the video last week. I saw that and I was like, oh my god, yes, they're finally going to start addressing the police issues in this game and how unrealistic and honestly demoralizing it kind of is that they spawn right on you in 2 seconds. And it's different. It's a tiny bit better. I mean, they spawn further away and it takes them longer to spawn, but other than just kind of making it take longer and increasing the distance at which they spawn on you, it's not that big of a difference either, and it didn't really feel all that different from how the cops were before, to be honest with you. There's definitely more work that needs to be done in terms of the police. And I've seen a lot of people saying this is classic CD Projekt Red, and the same type of thing happened with The Witcher 3 where it was super buggy and almost unplayable. I doubt that at launch in 2015, and then over the course of a year, some people say 2, by the time 2017 came around is when it was truly playable. But I don't know, man. I'm worried that Cyberpunk, what we had in December, and even what we have now, is worse than The Witcher 3 ever was. Because when I played The Witcher 3 at launch, yes, it was buggy, but I don't think it was near this level. So I don't know, I'm starting to wonder, like, is it time for them to kind of just cut their losses and give us that free next-gen upgrade, and by then, hopefully, PS5 and Xbox Series X will be more readily available to more people, and then they can maybe try to make amends and offer a much smoother and better experience there. Oh, I will say, I also almost forgot to mention that the driving, I find, this is completely subjective. Some people love it, some people hate it. To me, I was kind of on the fence about it, more towards not liking it, but it's a whole lot better. I find to be way more in control of the driving. You can adjust the sensitivity, which really makes a difference, and it's a whole lot smoother and better even, and I would even go as far as to say especially, on PS4 and Xbox One. So that's a decently sized plus, I guess, a positive here. But I don't know, man. I mean, I guess time will just have to tell what else they do. I'm expecting them still to have a bunch of updates incoming. The next big one, I would say maybe at least a month and a half, 2 months at the very least before we get another big update, but they're going to be releasing hotfixes here. As far as features go, because we know that there are some missing features, those are probably going to be coming in expansions and DLCs. I'm sure you guys saw the leak from a few days ago, which kind of alluded to that, but I don't know. If you guys are waiting to play Cyberpunk because you want to have a seamless experience, and if you're on PS4 and Xbox One, the first thing I would say to you is, if you're able to and when you're able to, try to wait till you're able to get a next-gen console to play Cyberpunk, because yes, that is what's going to offer you the best experience. But if you absolutely have to play it on PS4 or Xbox One and you want a smooth, seamless experience, I don't think it's quite ready for you just yet. It still needs a little bit more time in the oven as far as updates and patches go. And then if you're willing to wait until they bring out some expansions and stuff, the free expansions, you might even get some bonus goodies with it that weren't available at launch. So just something to think about. Again, a step in the right direction, but at the end of the day, I don't think it changed all that much. Okay, like, I don't think it was huge, monumental, big, massive dent in the problems of Cyberpunk. Okay, it's definitely a step towards that, but it definitely wasn't colossal, despite the 500 plus patch notes that we saw come from it. So that's just my 2 cents. I still want to keep you guys updated. As long as there's a ton of people who are unable to get PS5 and Series X and they're stuck with their Xbox One or PS4, I'm going to be making these types of videos. So make sure you let me know in the comments down below your experience with this update. I'll be reading it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.